Beans, beans, beans. You like beans? Do you like to trade beans? Are you a bean farmer? Well, then Bohnanza is gonna be the shortest negotiation game for you. Goal is to grow a bunch of beans, then harvest them. They give you money. Most money wins. So you have a hand of cards, but you can't change the order. Every one of your turns, you must play the card closest to you, then optionally play the one after. Playing means you're planting in your fields. You can only have 2 types of beans growing at once. After planting from hand, then flip over 2 cards, these will have to be planted. So then you might want to trade these away with other people who want those beans. Trade from this area or your hand, and non-turn players trade from their hand. But the number 1 rule of Bohnanza trading is traded beans always have to be planted. After trading shenanigans, ensure the 2 cards that were flipped are planted if they're still out. Then just draw 3 cards, that's it. Also, you can harvest beans at any time you want. If you don't meet the bean number requirement, woe is you don't get any money. Harvested beans get discarded. If you get some good harvest, flip some of those beans over and they're money. Whoever has most money after the deck runs out 3 times wins the game. That's the bean game. Pros. Bohnanza is just really endearing to look at. Green beans, chili beans, stinky beans, all sorts of beans with endearing art, just like this one that has to go to the bathroom. And the bean is shown on the top corners, which is really helpful in the hand. Also shows you the quantity of this bean. And the bottom, the beanometer as the rulebook calls it, is easy to follow. The back of the cards counting as 1 money is very clever component usage. Mats also make you feel like you're actually planting on dirt. But these mats are for our version, there's all these has bean versions. Cards are also great quality, which is good because you're touching them like crazy, so many beans. Player reference is great. Beans go inside this felt covered insert in a cool book box. We got this cool gold coin and band for the mats. And hello, you handsome, talented men. And the rulebook is great. Tons of examples, tons of color coding, easy to follow. Trading is the name of the game here though. And Bohnanza forces you to trade with your friends with plenty of opportunities. And it's like everyone's turn becomes everyone else's turn. You have to trade from your hand because you'll have to plant the first card in your hand every turn, but you only have 2 fields. So planting the wrong bean ruins your current marinations. So here, you have to trade before your next turn. Or sometimes you'll be trading to set up other parts of your hand. Let me trade you this soybean, I can give it to you at a nice discount because we're friends, which actually gets my 2 chili beans planted faster. The hand restriction drives the trading, and too much hoarding of cards slows down drawn cards from getting planted because those go to the back of the hand. So ease up that hand by trading. Also, all the stuff that trades gets planted right away, so why the heck not trade? Like, you'll catch on that, oh, it's actually simple and good to trade the same bean for the same bean. Hooray for interactive bean laundering. Bohnanza has the hidden bean information in your fixed hand, but then also open information as you flip over 2 cards every turn. These guys have to be planted, so if it's your turn, there's usually a rush to trade these away now, and you combine these with your fixed hand to try to get the proper deals. Offers can be tough because they know you have to plant. You're giving me a stink bean for a garden bean. Look at these numbers, that's a stinky trade. Is there any other deal I can make? Let me survey everyone's fields again. Or maybe you say, screw it, I'm pivoting. I'm actually planting this garden bean and pulling out this bean creation early. I didn't want to right now, but at least I didn't have to make your terrible bean deal. Other times you'll have to ask to give flipped beans away for free so they don't plant, which allows for a nice type of patient trading because other farmers know that they could sometimes get the bean for free without offering anything if no one else wants it. The trading never lets up because every turn forces players to keep planting, making sure fields don't stay empty for long and with constant signaling of what they're going for. Like, oh, blue beans, they sucked before. Oh, now they're good. Oh, let's trade. I have blue beans, blue beans, blue beans. Moment those blue beans get harvested, market value for blue beans drops. It's like the changing bean seasons or the bean supply and demand. You gotta know when's the right time to go on green beans to know when or if you can even make the jump from 3 to 5 beans. And then you gotta figure out when's the right time to abandon beans and jump on the opportunity of someone just begging and pleading to give both of their 2 bean flips away, and then you just you take it off their hands. And you won't be a long deflated bean farmer because you'll always get fresh ingredients to trade with every turn, with the 2 card flips and 3 draws. Then there's some nice progression in Bohnanza, where every time you score beans, you remove some of those from the game, so you need to play around what beans have been heavily farmed. If you're in the lead early, you can even try to quickly end the game by harvesting certain beans to remove more cards from the deck ASAP. And there's this field bean variant that lets you upgrade to 3 fields from 2 to make you a better bean farmer. But do you even want that 3rd field every game? It does take some time to grow this field. Then the central deck will get smaller as people harvest more, getting money, removing cards from the game. So the game really does end in about 45 minutes. Remember, on everyone's turn, they're taking 5 cards off the top of the deck. Cons. These mats are looking like they might wear out at some point, even though this copy has only been played twice. They do stick up quite a bit too. 2 nitpicks. One is that you could totally RNG into a strong 2-card bean flip that exactly matches your field, which is extra money on the final turns. But whatever, this is like 1 or 2 extra cash that isn't gonna consistently override good trading practices. Then the replayability isn't the most fantastic because all the beans pretty much do the same thing with different numbers. But Bohnanza does have a lot of variance, and your box might come with 2 or 3, which do make the game a bit longer. New beans mostly just add in more numbers to play around with, but we have the magpie bean, which, if played at the start of your turn from the top of your hand, lets you steal from others' fields. While this adds more trade counterplay, stealing from other people's fields every once in a while can upset those who don't want their beans touched in a trading game, though we haven't tried this. We also got this coin variant, which seems the most legit with letting you draw an extra card if you hold it, but we haven't tried this either. Recommender score: 8 out of 10. Bohnanza is an elegant trading game of just cards. Just constantly negotiate, then puzzle over the fixed hand order and your different fields of beans that excels at giving everyone different asymmetric bean wants. Bohnanza for many groups will be approached fairly casually, with the player money being sort of hidden. And of course, if you're the type to scrutinize stuff like player money and bean probability, you totally can memorize stuff too. You can keep forcing others to harvest half-baked beans, It's up to your group how bean mean or bean charitable you want to be. Do keep in mind trading for set collecting is such a big part of the game, so don't expect huge replayability from the simple bean cards. And then the fixed hand is a bit of a double-edged sword in reducing agency. Also, you probably want to play this with at least 4 players for more trading antics, but too many players like 6+ could make it feel like you don't have enough turns. Sure, Bohnanza didn't have to be a bean-themed game, but beans are lighthearted, and the art checks out. You can play with really anyone. My stink for your stink, right? Are we doing that trade or not? My stink for your stink? Someone need too many beans? Gather some of your favorite human beans, just draw 5 cards, and start trading. There's not a lot of mechanics, just do bean stuff. It's a Rosenberg classic for any negotiator to try. And this is only $20 for some versions, so it's pretty obvious why it's celebrating 25 years of beans.
Bohnanza for me is going to get a 6 out of 10, an above average time. The game's pretty good, but it runs a little too long for what it is. In that time frame, I'd much rather play Chinatown. Because there's just not enough going on in the trading department. It's a little too pure on the set collecting. Chinatown at least has positioning, and you can just trade a bunch of money. But also, Bohnanza just kind of occupies a weird time frame. We're usually going to be playing something a little bit heavier, a little bit longer. So, I don't know, like Sidereal Confluence up over there. Even Sons of Anarchy, which, you might not think is a trading game, but trust me, people are making deals over the dumbest things all the time in Sons of Anarchy. Bohnanza is never going to be a bad time because, it's just people trading, and I love it when people are yelling and trading about dumb stuff, but there's just not enough dumb stuff happening. So yeah, above average time, never gonna turn down if someone wants to bring it up, but there's better games out there. I'm playing Frost Saving a bunch right now. Just quick review.
My personal score, 7 out of 10. Simple card game where you can cleverly interact with anyone about beans. It's awesome. The fixed hand cards with the Force Plant is a really unique system to me, and I haven't played anything else that really quite does that. This all makes planting to complete a set feel all the more satisfying. Getting 4 money by completing your 8 beans, then you flip the cards over. Great analog design. Get cash from working hard on sets. Feels great. I've said before, I don't want games to only be trading, so when the trading gets a little more repetitive for me, the puzzling of how to manage my hand and go in on certain beans keeps me entertained. Bohnanza would have been an 8 out of 10 for me actually. I just think the game runs a teensy bit long for my liking. Like maybe 2 deck cycles or a smaller deck would have worked better. Bohnanza's gonna join the lot of these little morsel games that I like to just show any friends. You mean a lot to me, Bohnanza. That's Bohnanza, an oldie but a goodie. Thank you to our patrons over here for making videos like this possible. I like to know what people think of this format and kind of spice things up a little bit. And then we got our Mad Lads of Cardboard over here. Yeah, let me know if there's any games similar to Bohnanza that I should try or I should look into reviewing. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, yeah, all that stuff. Bye-bye.